So I've been working on trying to take the everyday tasks that I'm doing and commit them to the Lord, so that even in the mundane things, I can learn a lesson. Jesus taught in parables. Why did he do this? He taught in parables because they were relatable, because they were applicable, because they were understandable. And many times when Jesus taught in parables, there were many different lessons that could be gleaned from that one parable, from that one story. Those parables contained knowledge that was far-reaching. Those parables are still teaching even today. So that tells me that in our everyday task, that we can learn something, that if we will commit our everyday task to the Holy Spirit, and I'm trying to get better myself at this, in asking the Holy Spirit, okay, what are you teaching me in this moment? What can I learn in this moment, in this task, in this chore, in this errand? How can I learn from this? What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to show me? So for instance, this past weekend, I was working on a flower bed. It was completely overgrown. I mean, the grass was like knee high, the weeds were out of control. And so in the middle of that, I'm talking to the Lord as I'm weeding, as I'm pulling up all these weeds, and I'm talking to the Holy Spirit, asking him to teach me something. Teach me something in this. What lesson can I learn from this? So the more I sit there quietly, I begin to pluck up the roots, and there's a lot of work to be done. He begins to teach me. He begins to show me things. And he will do that. It tells us in the Word that he will lead us into truth, and he will teach us all things. But the Holy Spirit, he begins to teach me. Just like Jesus taught in parables, 2,000 years ago, the Holy Spirit begins to teach me. I'm uprooting these weeds, and you can't see anything. Like, the weeds have taken over. There is nothing there on the surface. But as I make my way through there, I come to this little foxtail fern. It's just barely surviving. It's fighting to survive. Now it's beat down. It's smushed. It's beaten back, but it's there. So I begin to remove the weeds from around it, and as I make my way further, I find a little flower. It just was sticking over the top of the weeds, like it's the only one in the bed. It's the only one that survived. But in order to get through the weeds and through the trials and the struggles of life, right? Because the weeds are that. That's what the weeds represent. They are the trials and the struggles and the busyness of life. In order to get through all of that, it had to grow up above it. Now, it wasn't strong, but it rose above the weeds. And all of that, and that fight to survive, it grew up taller than anything else in that flower bed. It was taller than all of the weeds, and it was just peeking out. So I pulled the weeds back from it. Of course, it fell over because it had grown tall, but it wasn't sturdy. It had no support, so it leaned over. I made my way through, and as I'm making my way through, I began to realize I've got to be careful. It's not just the weeds in here. I've got to watch out for spiders. I've got to watch out for snakes. There are things hidden within the weeds. The spiders and the snake, they represent demonic attacks and spiritual warfare. So the weeds are representative of the busyness of life, of the trials and the worries and the cares and concerns of this life that suppress us in our spiritual walk with Jesus, and they hinder our growth. Then we've got to watch out for the snakes and the spiders that come in and try to hide amongst the weeds. It's a great deception, and we have to be vigilant at all times to keep our eyes open and watch for that. I make my way a little further, and y'all, there's a grapevine in there. Like, that was like, wow, it was so cool. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't plant a grapevine in there. How did this even get there? But this little grapevine, y'all, it was thriving. It was like right up against the sidewalk, peeking out in the side right there, and it was thriving. And I was just blown away by that. Like, I have didn't even notice this little grapevine. Thriving amongst the weeds, thriving amongst the spiders and the snakes. Thriving. And now that I begin to pull the weeds back, it'll have a chance to grow. It'll have a chance to bear good fruit. And I think that's so beautiful and so representative of our lives. Like, pull those weeds back. Keep those weeds out. Every garden is going to have weeds come into it, just like every life is going to have weeds come into it. You're going to have busyness, you're going to have trials, you're going to have adversity, you're going to have all of these afflictions and these cares that are going to come try to drown out and push down and bury your growth. Every garden has weeds, but if you will pluck those weeds up one at a time as they show up before they get out of control, it's a lot easier to manage. It's a lot easier for your growth, for you to stay rooted, right? And for your growth to be strong, for your growth to be vibrant, for your growth to be thriving. And for your growth, I'm talking about your spiritual growth in your relationship with Jesus. Keep those weeds plucked out. It was a mess to have to weed out that garden because I let it get overrun. And the same is true for our spiritual lives. Every time you see something pop up, give it to the Lord. Ask Him to remove that. Take it and pluck it out. If it's bitterness, take it to Him. Ask Him to remove that root of bitterness, and He will eventually take it from you. And with the internal sins and the internal struggles, that's the only way you can even handle it. You've got to take it to the Lord, and you've got to lay it at His feet daily, sometimes multiple times a day. Bless someone. If you have unforgiveness in your heart, if that is a weed that's popped up in your life, bless that person. Pray for them. This is biblical. Anyways, I just love that little teaching moment from the Holy Spirit working over the weekend in my flower bed, and I think that's beautiful. Draw near to God and He will draw near to you, right? So the more we seek, the more we find, the more we knock and it will be opened. Ask and you shall receive. Draw close to Him in everything. If you're running an errand, He might have you on a divine assignment. Slow down and listen. Same with just weeding a flower bed or cooking dinner, washing dishes, folding laundry. What can I learn from this? Because He is there with you, and He wants to teach you. He wants to show you. He wants to guide you. He wants you to grow stronger in a relationship with Him. He wants you to develop a strong relationship with Him. I do too. So I hope this message blesses you. Tend your spiritual garden. May God bless you.